Peace. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. God is not cool. So today I woke up and my intentions was to not do a video about my ayahuasca ceremony. But for some reason it was just placed in my heart to get up and talk about it. And I started questioning myself, like, okay, well, why didn't you talk about this yesterday? Why today? And I'm like, then another voice came in and like, that's your problem. You know, instead of questioning your intentions, you know, instead of you questioning yourself, just do it. So that's what I'm doing today. So today I'm going to talk about my experience, what I saw, what I got as downloads. And to remind you guys, every day is still a download. I'm constantly still writing in this notebook. There is very, very small details that I know is just for me and the people that are close to me. And those people know who they are as far as certain things that I got downloads about. But the rest of it, I'm going to give it to you guys. So, all right. The day of the ceremony, I go to this beautiful place on the beach. And the moment you get there, I'm intimidated. The fire is going, everything is set up. You see the shamans, and I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Rewind it back a little bit. Before me and my husband left the States, I had told him, because I have been doing research about ayahuasca. And I told my husband, I said, the only way I will ever try this plant medicine is if I am in Mexico and I'm with real shamans in the right environment. Like, I don't want to play around and just somebody that's just in the kitchen trying to cook it up, right? So I get there, everyone's getting situated. We're sitting there for a while because we're waiting for more people to come in, and we're about to start. Now, remind you, I've done research on ayahuasca, but not rapé. Rapé is a plant medicine that they blow up each nostril, and it helps to open up the pineal gland, the third eye, and it helps to relax you a bit, okay? So I'm like, you know what? I need to go first, because I do not want to watch everybody. And guess what the universe did? She made me sit there and watch everyone do it. Some people was fine. They got up, boop, boop, boop. And then other people was like sitting there stuck. Because it's everybody takes things different. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. So it comes my turn. Remind you, what I said I didn't want actually happened. I did not want to watch everyone. And that's what I did. So my turn to go up there, everything's fine. I took it. It was not painful. It wasn't as bad as I thought. So I'm like, oh, my confidence is like, wow, I did it. I sat down. Then they come around with the medicine. Now, usually every ceremony I've seen, they make you drink the brew, right? They make you drink this tea. Everyone says how disgusting it is. But with these shamans, which was so nice about it, that they gave it to you in capsules, which they also do that, but not as common as drinking it. And it was a good way to take it, because a lot of people, they just can't stomach the taste. They have sensitive stomachs and everything like that. So they give you the capsules. You're supposed to hold it, and you can like set your intentions. Okay. Hold on. Let me just stop that. All right. Sorry, you guys. Someone's car alarm was going off outside. So, all right. So they're bringing the capsules around. They give me the capsules. Immediately my stomach dropped, because I'm like, okay, you know, once you take this medicine, there's no going back. Like, she has complete control, you know, and, that's just what it was. I had to use the bathroom. I came back, set my intentions, took the medication. And I set up for a little while, just looking at the environment, which was very peaceful and beautiful. And I said, you know what, let me just lay back. I was not tired at all. And I'm like, let me just lay back. And I remember laying back, I seen a shooting star. Somewhere in between that, it felt like I fell asleep. I'm not sure. But when I was able to open my eyes, I knew Mother Aya was working, because the people that were around and whatever I was seeing, it was very ancestral. Like, I remember seeing ancestors around, and the environment had changed a bit. So where there was a pool at, there was just like land. But everything felt so ancient. It felt so old. Like, the ancestors that were there were like really, really old, and they have been here for a long time. And you know, that's when I knew, okay, the medicine is working. And you know, you have the music, you slowly, another thing that kind of bugged me out a little bit is someone across from me on the other side of the fire, I heard them purging. And I'm like, okay, this medicine must be working because someone else is feeling the effect. So I'm still in my thoughts. I'm still in my mind. Like the medicine is still working through me. And that started to scare me a bit. Because I'm like, okay, like, am I about to throw up? And because I'm thinking so much in my head. So eventually I started having this really, really bad pain in my stomach. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. I'd rather have like 4 children natural back to back. This pain was at the top of my stomach and it hurt so bad. And I kept feeling nauseous. I could not throw up and it was the worst pain. So I remember closing my eyes. I'm like, okay, I just need to close my eyes and deal with this pain. And as soon as I closed my eyes, I felt Mother say to me, do you like this pain that you feel? And I'm like, no, hell no, like absolutely not, no. And she said, this is what you carry with you. This is what's in you. This is what you carry with you every day. And I'm trying to process it because remind you, the more the medicine is getting in your system, you're getting all these downloads. I'm still aware of what's going on around me, so I can still hear the music. I can still hear people purging. And I'm trying to grab the concept, like, what? I carry this around? So I felt it harder and harder. And all she kept saying is, do you like what this feels like? Do you like this pain? And I'm like, no. And she's like, this is what you carry with you. So it started, I remember when I was able to come out of this the next day, basically she was telling me that this is the damage I'm doing to myself, you know, and this is why I say so many times, we think we're doing the right thing. We think we're eating the right way. We think we're even treating people the right way. And Mother was showing you are not loving yourself the way you're supposed to. You are not taking care of yourself. The way I fight with myself daily with my thoughts, the way I fight with myself with the love that I'm giving myself credit for being a good person, mom, wife, all these different things, it wasn't enough. And Mother was letting me know, this is what you're doing to yourself. And this was the most painful thing. I mean, I've been sick with my gallbladder. I've been sick with my appendix. I've had children. My daughter, the last child I had, I didn't get the epidural in enough time. So she basically was natural, and this was the worst pain. So during the night, it don't matter what I was experiencing or what I was seeing, she always reminded me of this pain that I was causing myself, because I knew Mother was really trying to get me to understand, you need to stop. You need to stop doing this to yourself. Because what I would usually do, and this is for people that don't know me personally, you know, I'm very loving, I'm very loyal. So sometimes I put people before me. I can meet someone and I'll go so hard to make sure that they're happy. I'll go so hard to help them, but I won't do that to myself. So Mother was making me realize how bad I truly was treating and loving myself. That lesson is something that I will have with me for the rest of my life, because it's something that I needed. It's something that I will always be able to reference back to if I even start to think a certain way about myself or to feel negative. And I have my notes right here, you guys. So I'm trying to skim through because I don't want to read you guys all these notes because I have a lot of stuff, right? So then I remember laying there and I remember saying, I never want to leave. I never want to leave. I never want to go anywhere. I want to stay here forever. And I couldn't realize why I was saying that, because I was in a lot of pain, and the pain would stop and I was able to just be in this peaceful place, but the pain always came back. As much as she let me feel what peace felt like, she always reminded me of the pain that I was causing myself. But I remember laying there and I'm like, I don't want to leave. I want to be here forever. And again, I had to put these pieces together once, you know, a little bit of time had went by from the ceremony, and I realized that I knew where I was at. Even though it was painful, it was still peaceful. And with me knowing and seeing my ancestors the whole entire time, I think that's why I was saying, I want to be here forever. I want to stay here, because I knew this was home. I knew this was a piece of home. And every time I opened my eyes, the ancestors were either watching me, looking at me, looking into the fire. And I never seen anything scary. I never seen like something jump out and try to like scare me. It was never that. It was pure royal ancient, superior energy that was around me, and they were just watching me with these stern eyes and energy. And it felt so peaceful, because even though I was in pain, and even though you do feel a little scared because you don't have no control over the situation. I mean, yeah, you can still get up and use the bathroom, but you do not end this until she's done. So once your mind starts thinking that, it can make you feel like a little bit panicky or whatever the situation. So again, every time I opened my eyes, they were there, maybe different positions, different people. And I remember one point I looked up to the sky, and because I'm like, okay, something told me, look up to the sky and like see what that looks like. And I remember seeing an outline of 2 ears, a face, and 2 piercing eyes. And these eyes were so bright. And I remember when I looked up, I seen this image, and I could feel the energy of this image smiling. And I couldn't see a face or anything, but it was just, I could tell that this energy was like smiling. It was happy. And I'm thinking to myself, like, no, I'm bugging. Like, no. So I looked to the other part of the sky, and it was like, yep, I'm here again. And that's what it was saying. Like, I'm here. It was the same outline. It was a very simple outline, like 2 ears going up with a face and 2 piercing eyes, right? And the energy felt like as if it was an owl. So that is what was going on up in the sky. Again, I'm still processing. Every day I'm still putting these pieces together of how they really make sense, right? And this went on all night, you guys. I also remember looking up, and I seen some ancestors were starting to change form. Like they started to look taller. And I remember one person I looked up to, they were looking down at me, and it was so strong the way they were looking and the energy. And I remember saying, she looks like my grandmother. And remind you, where I get my spiritual gifts, stop it, Royale, go. Where I get my spiritual gifts is from my grandmother. My grandmother, you know, had the gift of seeing spirits and having, you know, this intuitive energy, empath and everything like that. So I remember looking up, and I was like, she looks like my grandmother. And as soon as I said that, I remember the image left where I closed my eyes. It really felt like the ancestors were just happy that I trusted myself enough to even endure this plant medicine. You guys have to understand, I don't know, a lot of people hear about ayahuasca and they just hear about different parts, like, oh, it made people sick, some people bugged out on it. They don't realize how powerful she is. This is the most powerful plant medicine that you will ever take that is on this planet. They have been practicing this for years, decades. They start young in their culture with giving it to their children. Pregnant women can endure it. So to be able to experience and have this medicine running inside of me and absorbing my body, my spirit, my mind, I will always be grateful and I'll always be thankful. And I'm so happy that I decided to take this medicine. There was another time that I set up and it felt like I had to throw up, but I couldn't. And I remember something said, look at the fire. And I looked at the fire and I'm just rocking like this. I'm like rocking, and it felt like the music was absorbing and taking, I don't want to say taking my soul, but it was just like going through me. Like their music, it's meant to make you go where you need to go. When you listen to this music that they played, this native music, it definitely gets you where you need to go when you're listening to their music. So I talked about the owl, the stomach pain. There was a lot of self-reflecting, okay? Again, a lot of people think that they take this medicine and it's a psychedelic and you're just gonna see all this weird stuff and do all that. Like, it wasn't even like that. I've never seen that one scary thing. I never felt like scared. I never had like any type of weird anxiety or panic attack. It was really me facing myself. Everything that goes on up here and in your spirit was right in front of me. A lot of people are not ready for that. And I had someone message me and they said, you know what? I thought about what you said. And they said, I'm not even sure if I'm ready to meet the Most High. I'm not sure if I'm ready to meet God. I'm not sure if I'm ready to meet Allah. Whatever names, there's so many different names we call the higher self, whatever. You have to be ready. Forget what type of message you think you're going to get. Forget what you're going to write down on that piece of paper. Because I'm going to tell you guys, we had to write down our intentions and put it into the fire. We had to, before you take the rapé, they put the pipe here and you have to set your intentions. I don't remember. I cannot think of what my intentions were. It felt like she erased my... All right, you guys, that's our second interruption, but we're going to get the video done. So I was basically talking about, you know, before the ceremony starts, you actually write down your intentions and you put it in the fire. When they give you the medicine for the rapé, they ask you to set intention. The weird thing about it is my mind has been trying to think about what I set for my intentions, and I really cannot remember. And I feel like she did that because whatever I put down as my intentions were probably things that were just repetitive in my head. Like, oh yeah, I want to work on this, or I want to work on that. So I feel like she erased that in order for me to set different intentions for myself, to set things that has more meaning. You know, this is your higher self. This is a higher source. So you don't need to question too much of what she's doing. You need to figure out the message so you can get it and understand it. But don't try to question her, because she's not to be questioned. And to go back to the pain she was making me feel, sometimes you allow people in your life that should not be there. Now, we cannot blame these people for causing the pain because you allowed them to be there. So all this pain that I was feeling in my stomach was pain that I caused myself because I wasn't protecting myself enough when it comes to people. I wasn't protecting my energy. I wasn't protecting my heart. I wasn't putting myself first. So all this was just balled up, and just throughout the night, it doesn't matter what I saw, what I felt, it was always a reminder of, do you want to continue to feel this pain? Because this is what you carried with you. So when I was able to process all this, it made me look at the people that were around me different. Even the people that you communicate with on social media, or family, or people that's around you, you really analyze everything. And also, all right, so to fast forward, okay, I get through the night, and this conversation that I was having with Mother Aya just went on all night. Just all night. Because remember, there's still a part of me that's still ego that I'm trying to hold on to. So some things she'll try to come in and show me, and I didn't want to see it, and she'll just hit me 1,000 times harder. So it was like having a conversation with yourself all night long. That's why they tell you, do not try to fight, because it's going to make the process worse. And she will let you know, you cannot fight me. You are not stronger than me. I'm very strong, but you are not stronger than me. So as the day is breaking, I remember I started seeing some daylight, and I remember I was scared to open my eyes because I'm like, is this over with? And I was able to open my eyes. I wasn't, things were just back to normal. But I was struggling that morning. I was struggling because the medicine, because I did not purge the medicine, it was still in me very heavy. So I still felt some stomach pain. I still felt a little dizziness, a little lightheadedness. And I was scared to get up. I was scared. I seen everybody eating and moving around, and I was so scared to get up. That fear started setting in. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to have to lay on this ground all day because I can't get up. I was scared to get up. What if I pass out? What if I throw up? I had to pee really bad. So eventually I get up, I go to the bathroom. I felt a lot better. I just had to, I didn't purge either way. I just had to use the bathroom. And I sat down. And immediately when I sat down, I felt the most purest love I've ever felt in my life. I felt a type of love that you will never, do you hear me? You will never experience from a human being. And I remember sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, like I feel good. Like, oh my God, like all that pain is gone and, well, it stopped. And I'm just like, this feels so good. Oh my God. And I remember her saying to me, it's okay. There's nothing to be scared of. She said, it doesn't matter who hurt you. It doesn't matter if you threw up right now, because my stomach was still hurting, because remind you, like I'm in pain all night. I didn't eat or drink anything. So my stomach, I have a sensitive stomach anyway. So my stomach was just off. But she just kept telling me, it doesn't matter. Everything is okay. And it was the most purest. She gave me an ass whooping all night. But it was tough love. And then she gave me the most purest feeling of love. We use words so loosely. When I say pure love, and I felt it, when I'm looking at people, I'm looking at them for their hearts. I can feel their love. Everyone was so loving. And then all of a sudden, as I'm walking around, because I'm trying to get myself situated, I'm trying to grab like something to eat, and Yaya's helping me, bringing me some water and everything, because my stomach is still off a little bit, you know what I mean? It wasn't in that pain. That pain was like a spiritual pain. This was just like now a physical pain, like my stomach hurt. Like I didn't eat, my stomach hurt, eat something bad, you know what I mean? But as I'm trying to collect myself, I started feeling as if I was a child. I started feeling weird. And I remember thinking about my husband, I remember thinking about my girls, and I felt so far from them. I knew they existed, but I felt like a little girl. It felt like a little girl that was at this place and she was experiencing love for the first time. I remember grabbing fruit. I stood there and there's like a table, because everybody brings food and like fruit and bread and stuff for the next day, and we all share. It just sits on the table. So I remember standing there, and I remember this, I was so innocent looking at the food. I'm like, what can I pick out? And I'm like picking out grapes, and I'm like trying to eat, like nibble on stuff because my stomach is hurting. But I'm like so happy, and I'm like, everybody loves me. And I felt what I always wanted as a little girl. Being accepted, feeling love, and just everyone like genuinely loving me. And it was so weird because I felt like a little girl. And I told Yaya, I said, I feel like a little girl. That was the rebirth. See, the medicine was still rocking. The medicine was still flowing. And that was the most purest thing I ever experienced, to go back to feeling a little girl, but being able to feel the peace and love that I always wanted. And Mother has been with me ever since. I am already very intuitive. When I meet people, naturally I read you. I don't want to. I'm not asking to. I just do. So now that I've taken this medicine and I've experienced this with Mother Aya, my thoughts and what I need to be doing is much clearer. My intuition is much clearer. I'm not holding grudges towards people. I'm not holding pain. But I damn sure know who I don't need to be around. The conversations need to be cut short. The texting needs to be cut short. And I'm going to listen. See, usually my intuition will tell me, hey, you don't belong over there. But because you feel so lonely, because you want friends and family so bad, that you'll be like, well, maybe it is okay over there. Maybe it's just me. It's never been you. You just never trusted yourself enough to listen to what she always has tried to tell you and guide you. So now that we have this acquaintance and we've gotten to know each other, I don't second guess myself, because I am her and she is me. We are very much connected. So I don't second guess when I feel like, nah, I don't need to be over there, or I need to be doing this. I listen. And it's so beautiful. I feel so protected. I feel safe. It's just, I'm clear of what I need to be doing, where I need to be. She has opened doors, you guys, for different opportunities that are happening right now. And I'm not going to talk about them. I'd rather show you. I don't want to talk about it. I'd rather show you. And as soon as I came out the ceremony, I had information on my phone, like something that I had been waiting for was right there on my phone. And I'm still like half into it. I'm like, what? Oh, wow, this is good news. She started showing up in a different way because she's always been there. I'm probably leaving some things out, you guys, and you will, if you follow my channel, if you follow me, I will be talking about this experience for the rest of my life. So you'll probably see me do a video and I might reference something to my ceremony or just my download. And like I said, if I am leaving stuff out, that's okay. I think I got the message across of what I needed to get today. You know, this is not for everyone, but if you are in search of who you truly are, if you are in search of really meeting yourself on a higher level, then I would suggest you to do some research about this medicine. And again, I will put you in the hands that has led me to experience this in a safe environment, a very loving environment, and a very helpful environment. So I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I think I'm gonna leave it here, you guys, because every day is a download. Every thought is a download. Every emotion is a download. And that, I could never sit here and just make a video on that. It has to come how it comes. But I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. And I'm thankful that I'm able to help people. I'm able to share my gifts with people. She has confirmed my gifts. She has made them stronger. She has made them clearer. I'm not second guessing myself like I was before. I actually like who I am. I actually love who I am. And everybody don't need to be in my space. Everybody don't need to be around me. Everybody doesn't need to enjoy who I am because they don't deserve it. And it took a lot for me to even say that, because when you genuinely like to help people, you try to help everybody, you'll see the faults in people, but then you try to say why you should still be around them, make excuses. But when you really have this experience, it's like everybody does not deserve your grace and your presence and your heart and your energy. So I accept that. I accept that. And I'm happy with it. So I love you all. Thank you so much for the people that have been following me on this journey. This has just started. I mean, there's going to be more ceremonies. There's going to be more downloads, more information. But she's manifesting some stuff right now, you guys. And just to think about it makes me want to cry. Just to think about it just gives me a burst of energy that I've never felt in my life, because it's just pure happiness, pure excitement, because I know the other stuff that she has coming. I can feel it. We've talked about it. And I'm just happy. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, you guys. Please, please, please drop any information you want in the comments about your own experience. If you have any questions for me, if you are on the level of really wanting to do this, I will push you over here so you can connect over in that area to being able to do the ceremony. Regardless if you're in Mexico or not, like I said, I will put you right to where I was at with the people that helped me. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Until next time, you guys, make sure you are meditating, make sure you're hydrating, and most importantly, make sure you're loving yourself. Please, please, please make sure you're loving yourself.